You're listening to the How to Talk to Girls podcast with your dating coach, Trip, from tripadvice.com. Do you struggle with getting girls to like you? You'll learn step by step how to talk to girls to create deep connections, whether it be for one night of wild fun, a 1-week fling.
Are you currently involved in a sexual relationship?
Or for a lifelong partner.
Full of long-lasting pleasure.
Here's your host, Trip.
Hello and welcome to the How to Talk to Girls podcast. This is your host, Trip, from tripadvice.com, and this episode is sponsored by Spartagen XT, your all-natural resource to boosting your sex drive and boosting your libido and fixing that pesky low testosterone problem. So if you have low testosterone and you want to get that fixed so you can have that awesome sex drive, maintain erections, not finish so fast with the girls that you're with, then check out Spartagen XT at SpartanLibido.com, and that is in the show notes. Go to SpartanLibido.com to fix that issue. And like I said, it's all natural, filled with herbs, filled with vitamins, so you can be a rock star with the girls that you end up going to bed with, and hopefully pleasing the women that you are with. So even if you have a girlfriend, or if you have a wife, I'm not really sure why you'd be listening to this if you have a wife, maybe for some more relationship tips that I do get into once in a while. But anyways, if these are issues for you, go check it out, SpartanLibido.com, so you can fix this testosterone issue once and for all and boost your sex drive. Now, today's episode is really kind of going back to some of the basics here, but maybe something that you need to learn about still. We're talking about the friend zone. I got a voicemail here from a guy who's talking about getting into the friend zone. He shares his story, and listen, we've all been there. In fact, after you listen to this voicemail, I'm going to tell you a little story about how I got in the friend zone many years ago. I mean, listen, I've been in the friend zone plenty of times back in the day. But that doesn't happen anymore because I've learned how to avoid it. And again, we can all relate to this situation. So we're going to kind of going back to the basics here about how to avoid the friend zone. And I want to retouch some issues that a lot of guys forget that I feel like I need to keep pounding in your head so you stop hearing that let's just be friends, okay? We all hate that. I know it's the worst. Trust me. So let's listen to this voicemail here so you can hear about this guy's issue, how he got in the friend zone, and he's going to ask really about how to possibly not just avoid the friend zone with this girl, because he already got in the friend zone, but how he can get out of it. And I have some ideas for him, but first, listen here. It's pretty interesting. And if you have a question, don't forget, you can call in too, 323-432-0025. Call in. I want to hear from you. I want to answer your questions on dating, love, relationships, sex, anything that goes along with that, attraction. I'm here to help you. I'm here to serve you. So call in 323-432-0025. Go ahead and call in and leave a voicemail. But for now, listen to this one right here.
Hey Trip, this is Will from Texas, 28 years old. Looking for some advice, direction on an unfortunate problem I'm in. For background, I was dating a girl for about 2 months. Things were going well. I made definite dates, was able to make her laugh and tease her. Saw her about once a week, and she even began to pursue me, texting, changing her plans to spend time with me. Played it cool, and phone was only used to set dates, and was patient with her, so things were well. Things kind of got off track basically when I started to act like a complete wuss. Other than kissing on the first date and some light make-out sessions, I just never made the physical move on her. Saw the signs, but never truly acted on them. So after 7 or 8 dates, I got the dreaded, she wanted to just be friends. Told her just wasn't enough and interested in that, but wished her the best, and I walked away. I've not contacted her since. However, we live in the same building and have run into each other 2 or 3 times. She's approached me to talk and see what's going on in my life. Just to see kind of how I'm doing. She even hung up on one of her friends she was talking with on the phone just to come over and talk to me. So I know I screwed up royally, so my question is this a lost cause and should I move on, or is there any way to re-attract her? We're on good terms and she definitely showed signs of high interest up until the end, or is this just her being friendly? Thanks for all you do, and talk to you later, and appreciate any advice you have. Thanks.
Well, Will, thank you very much for calling in, you brave soul, for sharing your story with us here so we can learn from you. So appreciate that, and so does our audience here. Again, if you have a question like Will, you can call in to 323-432-0025. All right, so Will, wow, bro, 7 dates. I'm gonna be tough love right now. 7 dates, and you guys only kissed? Well, I'm not going to be too hard on you because I know you already know that that is a big mistake. Okay, so for all of you listening out there, I'm going to tell you something that is going to blow your fucking mind. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Drum roll if you got one here. Women want you to have sex with them. Okay? Yes, I had to say that at 2 miles per hour so I can really tattoo it onto your brain. Women want sex. They want to have it. They want to have it with you, and they want you to make the moves on them. Okay? Now, Will, one of your main issues here, and this is kind of what I do best because all I have is your voicemail. I don't have any other details. You know, all I know is what you're saying here. But you said something very interesting that I caught. You said, play it cool. I was playing it cool. Which is very interesting. In fact, when you say that, what I'm thinking is you were playing it too cool, right? So your mentality was, okay, I'm playing it cool. I don't want to pressure her too much. I don't want to go overboard. I don't want to do anything she's not comfortable with. And listen, of course, like, we're not going to do anything here that's going to make a woman feel uncomfortable. That's the exact opposite of what we want to do, okay? We're not going to force. We're not going to do anything that she says no to. Okay. But at the same time, you still have to push it forward. The reason why you landed directly into the friend zone, and I know, Will, you know this, but I have to explain this to the other listeners, is that you didn't make a move. That is why you ended up in the friend zone. There is no other reason I can really think of, unless, again, there's details that I'm missing here, but I'm pretty sure that you just landed into the friend zone. Just kissing after 7 dates, that is really playing it way too cool. I mean, you got to think about 7 dates. Let's think about this. 7 dates, you said once a week. That means that you were seeing her for 2 months. At this point, I mean, let's throw away any kind of people who are into religion right now, because religion's different. If you're religious, there's a reason why you're not having sex. But if you're more secular, then that's a different story. Then probably, you're going to be a little bit more apt to having sex, guy or girl. Okay, so 7 dates, that's almost 2 months, and you spent a lot of time with her, and she liked you. So at that point, the girl is most likely going to want to have sex with you, at the least take it further, right? Because you guys had, and you said light makeout sessions. So that means probably you made out when you said goodbye for like a minute on all the times that you said goodbye. I mean, listen, it sounds like you played it right in the beginning. It sounds like she really liked you. She was coming on to you. Sounds like you kissed her on the first date. That means that she was ready to get physical. That means she liked it, right? Let's play all this out here. She went on the first date with you and kissed you, and then after that, she started to even contact you more, move around plans to see you. This was obviously not a friendship. She liked you. It was out there, but you were too scared to make the moves. So let me bring you back to a story that I have, and then we'll kind of come back to this, okay? Now, I have a very similar story, except mine goes back to when I was in high school, okay? This is a story that I may have told before. Maybe you heard it before, but you got to hear it again, okay? It's the first time I got into the friend zone, okay? And I mean, like, not friend zone where the girl already thought of me as a friend and we were friends and then I liked her. I mean, we were dating and then she threw me into the friend zone. I know this is going to sound funny to you because this is a story from high school, but still, this is a direct comparison here and a real true life story of what it means to go into the friend zone, even from a girl in high school. Okay, so here's what happened. Basically, I ended up dating a very pretty girl from high school, and this is something that I never thought was possible when I was that young, because when I was in 15, 16, 17 years old, I was kind of a dork, I was like a skinny little nerd guy. I wasn't getting too many girls, and somehow I ended up landing this really pretty girl. And everything was going great, but I was so nervous because I had no skills with women, right? I was just a teenager. I had no experiences, and here I am dating a super hot, girl. So I didn't end up making any moves on her whatsoever. We never even kissed, and we hung out a ton because we were boyfriend-girlfriend. And trust me, this was very normal at this point to kiss. She's kissed guys. I've even kissed girls before at this point, but I was too nervous to do it to her. And so then after about 2 weeks of dating, not making any moves, not kissing her, she did the same thing that this girl did to you. She said, you know what, I think we should just be friends. And of course, I know, again, sounds funny because it was in high school, but it's the same thing. I didn't make a move. So therefore, she's just saying like, oh, well, you know what, maybe I do like this guy as a friend because there's nothing I can see with him that would be anything more than a friend because he hasn't even touched me. Now, Will, for your example, you guys did kiss, you did have that, but she's thinking on that same level. She's thinking, well, he's not being a man. He's not really making a move, so she's losing attraction for you. Just like the girl from my high school experience lost attraction for me. She saw you as a guy who's too scared to make a move. And girls want to be with men who can make the move. It's your job to make the first move. That's the whole thing. It's your job. And they are waiting for you to do it. Some girls might make a move and go for it, but it's going to be very unlikely. They want you to do it. That's your job. That's what's going to show them that you're a man. Now, I know I'm kind of putting salt on the wound right now, and you're kind of like, yeah, Trip, I know how I screwed up. I know what happened. I know why it doesn't work. But again, I want all the guys out there to remember, you have to make a move, okay? You have to. She likes you. There's nothing else I can really tell you on how to do it. You just got to go for it. If she's already kissing you and agreeing to dates, there is no question that she likes you. You got to think about this in your head. And Will, I want you to think about this the next time, and I'm sure you will, learning from this mistake, is that the next time you're with a girl, your chances of losing her are going to be higher when you don't make a move on her. Okay? If she doesn't want to, and you're escalating after kissing, and you're touching her, or maybe you're getting clothes off and things are getting even more physical and she doesn't want to have sex, well, that's a different story. It's okay to try to do it, but if she says no, she says no. But the whole thing is eventually you work your way up to that. You might do some foreplay first, then maybe after a month and a half, you guys end up having sex, or maybe after a month, you end up having sex. I mean, it all depends. You can end up having sex on the first night, okay? But you definitely have to eventually make a move. Don't wait too long, or else you'll see here, like Will, you end up right in the friend zone, okay? Now, Will, here's what I want you to do with this situation. Now that you know how to avoid it for next time, what I want you to do is I want you to try this again, okay? I want you to be more forceful and be more manly with her. Forceful is not a good word. I don't think I should use that on a podcast like this. Let's use the word assertive, right? Not forceful, not aggressive, assertive, meaning making decisions, making moves, taking control, and taking things into your own hands. So what I want you to do is I want you to go back. I want you to find her, go to her apartment. Okay. I think you said something about living in the same apartment or something like that. If you didn't and I got that wrong, then give her a call. Okay. No more friendly stuff. I want you to call her up because it sounds like you kind of didn't talk about it. It sounds like there was no closure. You really just kind of, I don't know, she threw you in the friend zone, kind of said, I don't want to see you more. And you kind of just kind of went your separate ways. I want you to call her back up, or again, if you live in the same apartment building, go knock on her door, and I want you to say, listen, what are you doing tonight? Or what are you doing this week? And she's going to say, da-da-da, and say, I want to take you on another date. We're going to do this right. Okay? And she's going to go, I don't know. Say, stop talking. You and I are going on a date, and we're going to do something awesome. Okay? Now, actually, I don't want you to say that. I want you to have something planned. Or wait, actually, hold on. I'm kind of getting creative here. A couple things you could do. You could say, you can have something planned and you can tell her if you know for sure she's going to like it. Or you can say, it's a surprise. We're going to do something awesome. Okay? So try to figure out, look back at your past 7 dates. What can you do differently? You've gotten to know her. So what is something that she'd really want to do? Take her on another amazing date. Don't give up. Really be assertive. Of course, if she keeps on saying no, eventually, bro, you're going to have to move on and just treat this as a learning lesson, which it is already, and that's fine. But with this girl, I want you to make sure you can push yourself as much as you can to get her on another date. And on that date, I want you to be way more sexual, way more physical. I want you to kiss her at the end of the date, or not the end of the date, in the middle of the date. And I want you to lay the moves on her. So however you were kissing before, probably you were kissing in a way that was not very sexual. Maybe it was kind of soft. Maybe you weren't as assertive. Maybe you weren't touching her that much. I want you to grab her. I want you to grab her hips and pull her towards you. I want you to put your hand on the back of her hair. I want you to run your fingers up her scalp and just lightly tug on her hair a little bit and grab her butt and push it towards yours when you guys are making out and turn her on. Okay, because that's what she needs to see from you. She needs to see the man inside of you. She needs to see the guy who can turn her on, make her feel sexual, and give her a great sexual experience, because that's what women are looking for. They're looking for great sex. They're looking for sex that is just really wild and free and a space where they cannot be judged and feel sexual and feel open and then feel penetrated by you mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. Okay, you are the masculine. She is the feminine. You need to penetrate her, and she needs to be open to that. You need to make her feel open. Again, not just physically with her vagina, but make her feel open in terms of emotionally. Make her feel that she's in a safe place with you, but in a place where you're going to take care of her and take care of her sexually and take care of her needs. This is the kind of femininity that women are showing, and you need to be the masculine to come in and pursue that. Okay, so I hope that all makes sense. There's really a lot to learn from this, Will. That's one of the reasons why I picked this, and I'm kind of going back to the friend zone, which I have discussed many a times before in the earlier podcast episodes. But if you're still listening, whether it's you, Will, or you, the listener, you have to remember, girls want sex. They want you. They want you to make a move. And if you don't show them that you are a sexual being, that you are a physical being, that you are masculine, and that you are a man, and that you can be that man, well, she's going to be unattracted. She's going to throw you in the friend zone, and you have no choice but to let her know that you can be that guy for her. Okay? So I want you to do that. I hope this has been motivational for some of you. I really want this to be one of those episodes where you're like, oh, fuck, Trip is right. This is what I got to do. This is the new mindset I need to be. I'm a man. I'm going to go after what I want. I'm going to give a woman a great experience. I'm going to make her feel special, desired, loved, sexual, give her amazing orgasms. And of course, she's going to reciprocate. Don't worry about, well, are you going to get yours and all that stuff. Life is about giving, giving, giving. Okay? Because when you give, you do receive. And if you give and you don't receive, well, let me tell you something. Karma is a crazy thing. It comes back to you, because when you do a lot of great things for people and you are selfless, you'll see that things come back to you. I don't mean that in a woo-woo spiritual way. I mean that more in a very logical way. Things will come back and you will end up really reaping a lot of crazy benefits you never thought. So yeah, now we're getting deep. Now we're almost sort of going off topic, but it is true. That's what you want to do. You want to give these women great experiences, and I don't mean just sexually, but on these dates and these conversations when you first meet a girl, everything is about giving value. Everything is about making them feel like they are in an amazing situation, because they will reciprocate. But of course, you got to do it coming from a good place, not from a place of manipulation or using, but from a place of love and kindness and good-hearted, because then you will end up getting it back, because that's how it works. That's how it works with good people. So, okay, that's the episode for today. We went really deep. We talked about the friend zone. If you have any questions regarding this, let's hear it. I want to hear from you. Call in 323-432-0025. Will, thanks a lot for asking your question. And again, if you do end up getting in the bed with anyone and you have any worries about your testosterone or anything, don't forget to check out the sponsor of the show, Spartagen XT. You can go to SpartanLibido.com. That's in the show notes. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next one.
Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and write a review. Over 18 and want a question answered on the podcast? Email all your questions to Trip@tripadvice.com.